So now let me start today's topic. Today's topic, I think, inner knowingness and omniscience. Okay. So I will explain both what does that mean and then how they are linked. Okay. I try to give my easier explanation rather than complicating it with many things. Okay. What is knowingness? Knowingness means, or inner knowingness, to clarify, it is from where you will know this, it is coming from inside. It is not from outside. And what happens is that we normally operate from the knowledge. Knowledge is coming from external sources. Knowingness is coming from the inner side. Means if it's coming from external, you can sources. It is in Sanskrit there are two words. They call jnani. Jnani means they collected the gyan from external world. And next one is pragya. Pragya means which come from your inside. The wisdom has been developed. It is not dependent on the external knowledges. Okay. So pragya comes out of knowingness. Whatever we need to know, through our soul consciousness, it is made available to us. The consciousness works that way. Even to run our life, even to run our normal life, we may not notice, but the knowingness is still operating. Our soul is still guiding us. But also understand this knowingness will come, you can say, the intuitive way. I mean, so inner side, even though you don't practice intuition, but it always guides you. Like whatever you need, what do I mean by whatever you need, it will come to you. Suppose there is a car mechanic or say heart surgeon. Car mechanic has stuck with some problem, some issue with the car. Something is not happening, normal knowledge and experience doesn't, have that kind of stuff. And same as a heart surgeon. Some complicated patient has come, doesn't know what to do. Now, what happened? That intuition which will come, how to do the heart surgery will not come to car mechanic. Okay. Everything is there. But our soul consciousness gives appropriate intuition which helps you to run your life, whatever way you have chosen your life to be. Intuition will come that way. And same as the heart surgeon's way, it will come. It will never be crisscrossing because it will be no use. Even though a car mechanic know how to do a heart surgery, he will not be able to apply it anywhere. No? So what basically I'm saying, whatever you need at this moment for your own spiritual growth and final journey, it will come through you, within you, and what you will receive depend on which level you are operating. Your level of acceptance or your level of external skills as well. That's what I've given example. It's not necessary the same intuition comes to, all the people. So it works that way. And also there is a time involved here, and it will come at the appropriate time. So with this understanding, if you are stuck with any problem, of course the problem will be related to your life, no? Why you bother? It is somebody else's problem. Okay, you have sympathy and all this, but then one moment may come whether the solution is not available externally. It's not possible. Or never Nobody else, as you know, can give you that advice. They never been there. Why they never been there? Possible because all our paths are unique. So if it is a unique, some territory, nobody has got that combination of issues which created the problem. Nobody might have faced it. So, or even if somebody faced it, somebody maybe in Germany, somebody faced it, you have no contact, no way to know, and it is practically impossible to contact and find out that person. Okay. Now, in this case, there are two things can happen. Okay. One thing is you yourself has taken so many human births. You yourself in some life might have undergone that kind of situation. That experience will be downloaded to you at that moment. Or it may never happen, even in your past lives. Then from the all-knowing infinite source, it will be downloaded to you for that moment by your soul consciousness. And that's how you know it internally, even though it is not logically provable from where it has come. Because that source, which knows everything, there cannot be anything possible which is not known by that source. That source is called omniscience. Nothing possible means it is all-knowing domain from where it will be tapped into, and then you will be given to that through your soul consciousness. Whatever this, scientific, inventions and all, they came through this way. Those ideas, they came through this way. I have already, I think, last year, next to last session, I was giving an example of A.R. Rahman is connecting to get a tune, new tune, and this kind of things. This is the source. Nothing is possible which is possible to enact in the reality, in our three-dimensional reality, which is not already available somewhere. Okay, but this is one way. But to go there, people often confuse with the thoughts what normally you think it is my thought, it's a new thought came, I implied it. Here also there are two ways it can play. What you claim to be your thought, those are actually the collective thought. That's why sometimes you feel the same type of thing has been people discovered, across the world. Somebody has, find out the similar solution to a problem. Or nowadays, the hot topic is vaccine. Same idea of a vaccine. One scientist may get in China, another scientist may get it in, say, Brazil. It's possible. Because it goes to the collective thinking. It's all external. It's in the field. So you tap into that field and get it, and you think it is your thought. Most of the things, when we see things and some idea clicks, this is called collective thought. I am not talking about that. Okay. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your independent connection through your soul consciousness to the omniscience, the source, from where it needs to download, not from these thoughts, even though they are new. Most of the time, we get carried over with this kind of thoughts, which we picked up through our antenna, through electromagnetic field. We picked up. It didn't come downloaded from that source. Why we picked up? Because we live in a modern world. So many connectivity, connections, and things like that. So we pick up. It is easy to pick up to these collective thoughts from the world we live in. To get that, to get that intuitive thing, to get that from the omniscient source, something to enter into, you need to stop, interacting with this external world, which is not possible in our lifestyle. And that is the fundamental reason the yogis and all earlier, rishis, they used to go to the Himalayas so that they don't pick up things from the external world. In the solitude of the forest and all, if you go in the nature, then everything will be natural. Intuition will come to you naturally, because through your five senses, whatever you are picking up, those are all natural. Those are not manipulated. Trees and forest and, water streams and the skies, all these are like that. And there your growth will be natural. And you get whatever the ideas you get, all will be coming from the source, because there is no external input to get into, no collective thought you are getting into so that you can pick it up and then say it in a different version or make it a little bit of sugar coating and say it to others. This is the fundamental difference between the knowledge and the inner knowingness. For inner knowingness, what you need to do so that you don't pick up that the world which is, chattering and all these collective thoughts, you have to stop your chattering mind, which we practice through meditation. There is no shortcut way. Okay. You need to stop chattering the mind, and then you tune into that. Source is already there. You need to tune into the connection through your soul consciousness, through your higher self, to get that whatever you need. Suppose you are in a problem, what you need to do is forget about searching and busting your brains outside. You may get something, you may not get something. It's quite possible. Okay. But if you contemplate on that one, that solution is definitely available. Only thing, you didn't get that idea yet. That's why it is still a problem. Okay. When you get the idea, you have the path to the solution, so it will no longer be a problem. So if you contemplate and you trust your inner knowing, it will guide you. Because it is not possible that you are facing some problem what nobody knows. Okay. Nobody knows means, even God doesn't know. Again, it is not, God is misinterpreted. I don't use the term, but the source doesn't know. It's not possible. You are created by the source, and whatever you will be going through is all available. All files are there. Only thing you have to know how to log in and open the right file at the right time. And that process is your inner knowing. And where the files are stored, that is called omniscience. Omni means all pervading. And science, this knowledge. Okay. Or it is also this way, when we get that the inner knowing, and that kind of knowledge is called Brahma Gyan, which is the truth, or the higher knowledges, what we normally refer to the higher knowledge and higher domain and higher dimensional masters. They give you what? They give you this wisdom and the truth. So that what you can utilize for your day-to-day activities. So this is about the definition part. So now just let me stop before I go to the next part. Is everyone is clear what is knowledge, what is inner knowing or simply knowing, and what is omniscience? If anybody has a doubt, please unmute and ask a question. Okay, all right. It's fine. We'll go ahead with that one. Okay, now let me come to some level that some kind of misunderstanding about what we face in life and why we don't get all the time it is all good and all we are supported. So when we are problem, where is the inner knowing and where is the source? Okay. Just to understand that, that we got, if you see, analyze that your reaction to anything, it will give you the answer. Just listen this part very carefully. If you are on the spiritual path and if you are direct guidance of your soul consciousness or inner guru, then whatever happens to you, it belongs to your higher self, inner guru, who has all the inputs, even your future. What is in your best interest, it can guide you. Even your best interest is to miss a flight, that flight may go and land it into some kind of accident. Okay. So just losing a flight does not mean that it is not in your best interest. So in that times, you have to have that kind of trust to your own higher self. Yeah, my higher self knows better. I'm protected. I'm guided. I'm not left alone at the time of difficulty or crisis. You have to go with the flow and see where it takes you. If you don't control everything, all the situations around you, better to lose the control, give up the control. I have already given an example of, the car when they roll over. Suppose you have to take a sharp turn and then started rolling over, high-speed cars. It is very rare in India because in India it doesn't go to that high speed. But in here in Middle East and all, it's very common. Car getting roll over. Somebody take a sharp turn and it suddenly high speed started rolling over. There we were taught in the teaching that when it start getting rolling over, the driver tendency is to reverse that steering, so put it onto the road. Otherwise, it will go off the road by rolling. They say in that moment you lose, just leave the steering. Let the car go wherever it wants to go. You're trying to put it back to the track will be more detrimental. Car has got out of control. Now you're trying to control. Don't try that. Let the car go wherever it wants to go. It will be easier. Damage will be less. Your life will be saved. It will go to some way, that way it will topple upside down and all, finally come standstill, but you will be saved. But if you try to manipulate something, it will more dangerous thing may happen. Same here. When we met with some situation which is not going as per your control, you realized you lost your control. Leave it to the higher self to take care of it. Higher self knows what is in your best interest. Okay. Okay, I told that you just give full attention what I am saying, but that I have not said yet. That the sentence is, if you claim that problem, whatever the problem is, if you claim that problem is yours, that problem will be truly yours. But if you leave it to the higher self to take care of it, that problem will not come to you. So what we need to do as a practice, we don't claim that problem is my problem. Even though logically it doesn't make sense. No? It is my problem. I had met with an accident. It's my problem. Okay, you met with an accident. But don't take that it is your problem. Because if you claim it, it will come to you. So I'm just sharing what I do. So I already told in the beginning, in the whatever my free will is surrendered to Mataji's feet. So it is all, all thoughts, words, and actions is belong to you. Please guide me. And if I'm having some situations in my life, I, I just tell Babaji, it's all yours. Rajdeep has died long time back. There's no longer Rajdeep. Who will claim that it is my problem? Whatever it is, all yours. You are experiencing through me, it's okay. If you like me to go and sleep on the streets, I will do that. You are you who is experiencing through me. There is no longer me left. So here, what my advice is, in the tough situations, don't claim the problem to be yours. It will stay with you. Give it to the source. It's all yours. It's not me. You are experiencing through me. And that is the spiritual truth. Our higher self knows better. No, our higher self has no intention to punish us. But of course, it wants us to experience through the cycles. Now you understand the level of cycles. Energy cannot be just one point and still it will be there. Energy-wise expanding and contracting like a breathing. If we inhale, exhale has to happen. Now, while inhaling, suppose you are enjoying. While exhaling, you say, what's going on? It's going out from me. It's a process. Okay. It is nothing going out of you. It will come back again. It's okay. So something in your life, in fact, now in the COVID situation, many things has been stopped. Okay. Like a car, we put a brake sometime. It was necessary. But understand this point very clearly. Stop does not mean you are stuck. You are getting ready for the next phase. Most of us, we confuse that stoppage as a stuck. You are not stuck. You need to store that energy. We also need sleep every day, right? Okay. The sleep doesn't mean you are dead. You are getting ready for a new day. You need that break. You need that stop. Your system needs that temporary stoppage or halt. And also energetically, this, we already discussed about masculine and feminine energy. Now the feminine energy is predominant. Masculine energy is all about expanding and working hard and things like that. Feminine energy is contracting energy. There's no good and bad. It's a complementary energy. So now that's why we need to do that. We have to reduce this external activity and come to our inner side. And that is also needed. Particularly now the earth energy has been transferred and shifted. We need more of that. Why the inner thing is needed? To find out a new way, to create new ways. For that, you need to, if you keep on running, you will never get that. Only if you turn back and then give a quiet moment, that creative way will come out. And you remember in this year, what is the year? This year I told in the message on the 1st January, this is the year of creativity. Nothing our old style will come back. Okay. It will be new ways we have to find it out. And we'll not find it out unless otherwise you choose to halt and give it a thought. Otherwise, external world will do that eventually. They create some situation in the external world, we are bound to be, come back and then contemplate. And all over the world, that is what is happening. So this is a process, and in this process, the inner knowing, the intuitive connection to the omniscience will give you whatever you need. Don't expect that to come from the external world, anybody else. Spiritual masters are working, but they will not spoon feed you and give you. It's not possible. Understand that. So what is the role of the spiritual masters then? If they cannot give me the solution to problem, what is this? The reason is, then let me give one example. Then it will be clear. When you are ready, then the seed has been planted in yourself, your life. Now it needs to flourish. In the spiritual way, means whatever ultimately you want to, so that you can express yourself completely about the life. The seed has been planted. Maybe it will be ignored for a long time, or maybe first 30, 40 years of your life, you never bothered to put the seed onto the ground. It's you. That with the flourishing tree, whatever will come, the flowers, that seed was within you, but you never planted that. You just put it in a jar or something. Okay, just think like that. Seed can be stored in the jar for years. Then you planted it. Then free will came. You said, now we plant it on the ground. What spiritual masters do, like say, suppose in the forest, okay, that is planted in the ground. Time to time, they come and they shower rain on you, onto that seed, so that they sprout. Okay, then again the land gets dried up. Again some cloud come and they come in that, give little bit more rain. So they go further, and slowly they flourish with all the flowers and fruits and all, become a big tree, which is the highest potential. These raining from the infinite source, the masters are raining on you through the satsang, through this knowledge sharing, to the practices they give you. This is that rain. They will not make fruits to come out. It will happen through you, your potential. But rain is needed. Otherwise it will be dried up and the plant will dry. Okay, that is the role of the masters, to nourish you till you get to the complete, your full potential. There's something can happen, sometimes some storm can come, flood can come, and this and that, some challenges. But end of the day, to survive, to grow and all, you still need that water. So those are masters are showering, it's all coming from Guru Mandala. They are showering that on you, time to time. What do you think these weekly sessions are all about? You can take it as that rain, time to time coming and little bit, giving you some kind of nourishment what you need for your ultimate expression of yourself. That fruit, that flower will not be imported. Not somebody will come and put some kind of flower onto the tree by sellotape. No. Okay, so that is the purpose. So that is the purpose of what is happening. The ups and downs may come. It is a part of the journey. And this means the tree also needs some exercise. Some strong will come sometimes, so that it gives some little bit of exercises. It's okay, But whatever happens, it will be for your ultimate growth, ultimate flourishing. Otherwise, that seed will remain in the jar for hundreds of years. It will not be planted, and forget about fruits and trees. I mean, flowers. Okay. So this is the understanding of that. So that completes my, session of understanding, and I tried to give you the not complicated. It is very subtle knowledge in a easier way. I hope you have got essence of it. So if you have any question, so you can unmute and ask the question.
Nirupam here.
Yes, Nirupam.
This inner knowingness and intuitive getting the knowledge, is it the same thing or it's a two different?
Yeah, because inner knowing comes from intuition. Okay, and how intuition comes, because it's coming through heart and all, I have already explained in the earlier sessions how intuition comes. It doesn't come to the brain, it comes to the heart, and then it is transferred there. I explained that in some of earlier session. So the channel of getting the knowingness is through intuition. Okay. Another thing, let me I missed it, I think. Omniscience, like all knowing, it does not mean you have to store everything. Okay, don't get that idea that how much big memory space I need to store everything. Okay, it is not that. That is our false idea of getting knowledges and store it somewhere, and all this, because I mentioned opening files now. Don't go into the thinking it needs the storage space. In fact, storage has to be discarded. You can, there is no storage possible to have the infinite, that, the omniscience, that everything. Here, what is important, not at all storage, that instant connection to download. Whatever you need will be instantly downloaded to you. That connection is important. So to have the connection, we have to tune in. And that tuning in is your intuitive ability. Tuning in happens by intuition. And through that channel, you receive it instantly. You need not to store anything. That's what call in the living in the moment. Because you miss the moment. If you're not in now moment, you will not get intuitive thing. Your mind will trick you away from here and there and past or in future and all those things. You go into the mind construct rather than the connection. So that's why tuning in is important. Storage is not important. I'll go to that extent. Storage is not at all required. It is not about storing the knowledge. It is our third dimensional concept that you have to store knowledge. It is not that. It is not information technology, that how you get that information quickly. It is your intuitive avenue. When you are there, it will come to you automatically. You send your intention, it will come to you. All right. Any other question?
I have a question about, you were saying expression of life. So how do we know that at what point we are being expressive or not?
Means the intuitive thing, you will know it, because knowing it is difficult, that nobody else will know that you know it. Okay. Do some experiment, I think, on your own. Okay. Do some experiment and see what comes with that. But only thing is, you should not have your second guess and third guess on that. If then mind enters. Any issue, you just contemplate and see how this is getting connected and it is coming to you. You have to give some time. Okay. Or if you like me to get into that, into more practical way of dealing with it, suppose something is in your intention, then play it in you. Basically, you need to keep focusing on that. That's why we miss the focus, so we don't get the answer. That is the reason. Suppose you want how a particular job to be done in the best way. It has come to you, you need to do it. Okay. Suppose you have to like to try some recipe. So that idea how to do that, it has not reached to you yet. So if you can get it in the meditation is fine. But otherwise also, suppose you are going for a walk in a park. You play in your mind. Okay. That my higher self bring me that idea to how to get this new thing done, and play it for some time. And then one spark of a moment, something will come. Okay. You have to accept it in toto. You have to try that. And that's how you implement that. Because this is difficult to explain that logically how to get that. But when it comes, oh my goodness, this is the answer of that what I was looking for. This is one way. Another way is keep that, whatever you're looking for, in your intention. You will see, suddenly open a page of a book, that something is written, that click an idea. Or you're watching a TV show, somebody, some dialogue, something else, they give some dialogue, it makes meaningful. Okay. It helps you to get into that one. So there are different ways the divine gets the message across you. Only thing, you have to be open and alert to receive it. It is not possible that it will not come to you. It will definitely come. Only thing is, you have to, but how it will come, that nobody can tell. Which is the best possible way it will come to you.
So after it comes, then we are definitely appreciative of it. Okay, it has come, and then what do we hold on to it? Do we, or it can go away also, right? When time is
No, it's up to you. What do you do with it? You just simply say thank you to the source from where it came. Even if you doesn't know the whole source and channel it came to you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you. Whether you like to implement it or not implement it, it is your free will. There is no strict rule what you need to do with it.
Okay.
Okay. As for example, the recipe I was talking about. So a recipe came. Then you decided, I will not cook it, this particular recipe now. I will try after 6 months. It's up to you.
Okay.
Okay. Or you need to let go. Maybe another one you will, try somewhere else. That's up to you. Okay. But whatever you're looking for, it will come to you for sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Guruji, I want to share about this
All right.
intuitive voice.
Go ahead.
When I am very poor in cooking, so that skill, cooking skill. So whenever I start doing cooking, I will say to Guru, inner Guru, please guide me, so that whatever dinner I am preparing, let it be delicious. So, intuitive voice will come. Put this. Wait for some time. Let it cook. Like that, it will guides me so many times. I use this for cooking. Okay, Guruji. Thank you.
Wonderful. Great. See, let me share one thing. Cooking is one of the very good form of meditation. Okay. Because if you cook with your 100% attention, no, that is equivalent to sitting in a meditation fully. Why? Because here your full attention is on that, and not only that, your compassion, you're putting it, you're cooking food for your family, your intention to nourish them, to feed them to the best possible way. all these are the great qualities of a meditation. And there are, in the villages and all, there are several the people who have done nothing spiritual, but their wisdom, that their spiritual level is very high because of that. Because this is called seva bhav. Seva bhav means to service for the others. Only thing is here, while cooking, your mind should not be roaming around here and there, think about different things. Oh, after that I have to do this, I have to do that. If you fully concentrate, that is equivalent to meditation. Okay. So because the purpose is this, for higher purpose, nourishing people, all this are involved there. Plus love and affection is involved here for the family. So it is one of the higher form of meditation, if it is done with a full concentration and alertness. So that's all good. So, and of course, when your intention is the divine will, your inner guru will come and help you out there, for sure, because it may get you the experience of previous lifetime, maybe another 50 lifetimes, how to prepare that. Okay. So it is nothing new for your soul conscious, Sutratma point of view. It's your fifth body. So it is nothing new. Only thing is to download and give it to you at that moment. And that's quite possible. Very good.
Guruji, namaskar.
Yes, Vijay.
Guruji, little bit need more clarity about the relation between the omniscience or the universal consciousness. Both are same, different. What is the relation? Or kind of?
Okay. Omniscience is the quality of universal consciousness. Universal, the one, the source. Okay. It has got three major the qualities of. So it is called omniscience is all knowing, and then it is called omnipresent. It is ever present. It's all pervading. The tricky question when when somebody asked to Deepak Chopra, and so somebody says, where is God? So is God within me? Then he said, yes, God within you. Then that one lady went to discuss with somebody else, another master. Master said he doesn't know. God is not within you. Then she came back and told Deepak Chopra that what you told me, that my master is saying that this is not correct. Then Deepak Chopra told, no, I am wrong. God is not within you. God is everywhere, including you. That is the right answer. Okay. So that is omnipresent. That is called, it's present everywhere. So the three major qualities: omniscience, knows everything, no knowledge possible in this universe which is not known, and omnipresent, it's all pervading, it's everywhere. It is not somewhere or in the outer space. Somebody is working somewhere from the distance planet. Nothing like that. It's everywhere. And then omnipotent, all powerful, all the energy, all the power it has got. These are three qualities of universal consciousness. And inner knowing comes through our soul consciousness. Like there is a universal consciousness, our soul consciousness become a bridge between that universal consciousness, which is omniscience, knows everything. Whatever we need. You remember I just explained that a knowledge for a mechanic will not come a knowledge what a heart surgeon needs. So who does that filtering? Our soul consciousness does that filtering, which is useful because so the vast, infinite. So whatever useful at that moment, our soul consciousness filtered that down and give it as intuition. If our mind is not chattering, we'll feel that. It is a feeling we get, not idea. Idea comes later. Of course, it has to, that feeling ultimately go to the brain and then it converts into some idea so that it's meaningful to us. But we get it as a feeling. All the masters, they work with the feeling. You say, whenever you say something, you said, I feel. Will somebody recover from this, some kind of disease? I said, they say, I feel he will be okay. It's a feeling, not logical. Okay. We cannot prove that why that person will be that. It's a feeling. And that feeling is intuitive. So that comes, so it filtered by our universal consciousness, omniscience. Then our individual consciousness, which is soul consciousness, that filters down that knowledge which we need at that moment. Then it reaches to us through intuition as a feeling. If we can understand our feeling, is better. Otherwise, it will ultimately reach to our brain as some kind of thought reading. We have to understand this thought reading is coming from intuitive source. How? Because I have not created it. If what my thought, I'm creating new thoughts that, it is not composed by me. It is given to me. That is how it works. So that answers your question, or?
I understood, Guruji. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So this is the process it happens. Okay. So this is the link between our inner knowing and that omniscience. As I said, omniscience is one of the qualities of the universal consciousness. Just as an interesting, what is the role of, what is the job of universal consciousness? The source is only one job, that is to create. It is to keep on creating infinitely. Okay, that is a different issue. We will discuss some other time.